We're back, and today we're talking about hats and why hats are so stinking popular right now. What is going on in the industry right now, Spencer?
Yeah, hats are super popular right now, Stewie. They're great ways to get your brand out there. Everyone loves to wear a hat, and there's lots of different styles of hats for winter, for summer, for when you're boating, when you're going skiing. And so there's tons of different options out there, and the best part about it is there's tons of ways to customize the hat, to put your logo on, whether it's, a variety of different patch options, embroidery options. There's tons of ways you can put your logo on hats.
So basically what that means is like you kind of choose the style of your hat, and then you can choose like a variety of options, right, to decorate it?
Yep.
Right?
Yeah, so first you really want to figure out what style of hat you want. Do you want a name brand hat? Do you want a no-name brand hat? Do you want more of a standard hat? And then once you can figure out the style, that's when you dive into decoration, but let's start off with style first. That is a FlexFit 110. It looks like a trucker. It's considered a 5-panel because of the front panel right there, which gives it great location for decoration. So yeah, that's a pretty standard, great golf hat, and it's a name brand, so it's a Travis Matthew hat.
Gotcha. When you say trucker, you just kind of mean like just like the classic like baseball cap.
Yep. This is the classic Richardson 112. A lot of people have heard of the Richardson 112, and it's a great hat. They last forever. They're really great to decorate, and they fit pretty much everyone's head.
This one looks a little bit different. Similar, but something's a little bit different.
Yeah, that's the 7-panel. So
okay.
Richardson as well, staying within the Richardson brand, but it's a 7-panel, and it's got a great location again for decoration. Big.
Oh, just the big, yeah, right on the
big front panel, so you can put your logo nice and big, or keep it simple, either way, but that's the 7-panel.
Cool.
These two have the rope, which is popular right now. These ones are great for boating. Everyone loves these. This one actually has SPF protection, so for fair skinned guys like me, prevent us from getting sunburned maybe on the boat. And this one is a flat bill Richardson hat, pretty standard as well.
Okay, so yeah, kind of like it's kind of like the trucker, I guess, but just it's got the flat.
Yep.
On the front, right? Same
Yeah.
amount of panels and everything.
Higher profile, yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. This one looks pretty similar to those other ones.
Yep, trucker as well,
Okay.
but it's a Bad Birdie, which is another golf brand. They're great to work with.
Definitely, I would say it's probably more like an active wear hat.
Yeah, it's great for when you're golfing because it's got this mesh in the back, so if you sweat or your head gets hot, it helps kind of keep you cool when you're golfing, so that's a great one.
Awesome.
So right here we've got 3 hats. These 3 are Melon hats.
Okay.
And Melon right now is awesome. They're super popular. Higher price point hat, but super comfortable. Definitely worth the price that they charge. And they are customizable still. We can put patches. They usually come with their patch on the front, but we can put patches on the side or on the back. And occasionally with this hat, this one doesn't have a logo on the front, so we put ours. You can put your patch or your logo on the front of it. So Melon hats are great. Pricing really depends on quantity and also on how you decorate them, which we'll get into here in a second.
Yeah.
If you're doing rubber patches, or if you're doing a woven patch, or if you're just doing embroidery, that would really affect the price. But for the most part, aside from the Melon hats, all of these hats are pretty standard, $12 to $20 a hat. And that includes the customization. And then when you get more into the Melon hats, that's where you get closer to $50, $60, $70 range. So with all of these hats, you can do embroidery, and there's 2 different methods of embroidery. There's flat embroidery, where your logo is just embroidered on and it's flat, and that's really standard. Or there's puff embroidery, so it's like your logo is embroidered but 3D, so it's popping out a little more.
Oh, nice, yeah.
So that's always cool, and I think that shows right here. This is flat embroidery and puff embroidery, and they're both great options. So.
Cool. Okay. Awesome.
But so I got to say, probably the number 1 option is patches. This last year, we've done thousands of patches for companies, and it's because they are super customizable and give a nice flair and touch to your hat. So we can jump into how those work.
Yeah, let's take a look at these.
Okay, so first, Stewie, let's jump into the rubber patches. These patches are sweet. They're one of my favorites. The reason why I like them is because they provide extra dimension to the patch. And they're very customizable. I mean, there's always limits to customization, but you can do lots of different shapes, custom colors as well. And so that, I love them on hats. All right, Stewie, so the second patch that we all love here at Verlux are leather patches. And with leather patches, you can do a variety of things. Here, this J&J Outfitters leather patch is laser etched. So the border is laser etched, and then their logo as well, which is awesome because you can get a little more detail with the laser edge.
Okay, that's good to know.
And you know, with this one right here, this logo is embossed, so it's pushed into the leather, and that's also a really nice touch. What's cool about this one as well is it was set up so that around the border you could sew it, so it has that extra touch of thread going around the border, which always looks cool on hats.
Okay.
So these patches are called embroidered patches. So we talked about embroidery on hats, right? You can embroider directly onto the hat. In this case, you're creating a patch that is embroidered and then you sew it onto your hat or press it onto your hat with the adhesive. These patches are somewhat similar to embroidered patches, but they're print and stitch patches is what we like to call them. So they actually print onto the patch along with some stitch on the border. These are great if you want kind of that embroidered look, but with a more detailed logo, because they're able to print onto it.
So that's the advantage over like the embroidery.
Yep. Okay. For example, like with this Colonial patch, the Utah on the patch would be way too thin to be embroidered. So you've got to do that print. Same with the numbers, the 1983, and even the 40 years. I mean, the whole logo is too thin to embroider, so that's where we do the print and stitch, so you can still have that embroidered look patch, but also have the detail of your logo.
Cool.
We've got the woven patch. This one, actually, the logo and the whole design is woven into the patch, so it's all thread. There's no print on this patch, which is cool. So once again, I mean, the embroidered, print and stitch, and woven are all somewhat similar. They all have similarities, but they all have their differences for specific designs and logos. And if you're a little overwhelmed or confused with how many different patches there are, feel free to reach out and we can advise you depending on what logo you're using, your artwork, and what hat you want. We can tell you which patch would probably work best with all of those elements.
We've got 10 Carhartt beanies that we're going to be giving away through our Instagram. So if you want to follow us, our Instagram is verlux.swag. We'll have a link to that in the description below, so you can go click to that. Well guys, if you made it to this part of the video, thank you. We appreciate you guys watching. We got to talk about all the different hats we have, the different styles, and the different decoration methods. I learned a lot, so it was fun to learn from Spencer. Spencer's got a lot of knowledge about that, so that was cool. But yeah, as always guys, like and subscribe. We are excited to have you guys here.
Yep, if you made it to this part of the video, you're one of 20, so thanks.
See you guys.